Hello people, I am the Royal Comic Book Gamer, and today we're going to be talking about The Joker, Devil's Advocate, which is a book where Batman ends up in a position where he tries to save Joker, who was wrongly accused of a crime, and is going to get the death penalty as a result. So this story is written by Chuck Dixon, the art is done by Graham Nolan. This is the creative team that created Bane, and have done a lot of great things in comics, especially for Batman. So this was their sort of magnum opus for Joker. This was their quintessential Joker story. It's a really good story. I believe it's about 100 pages, and it's just a nice little graphic novel, and I really enjoy it. It's a great story that I think more people should read. So today we're going to be talking about it. So this story opens up by showing us that there's a new stamp collection going around of late great comedians. So you have a bunch of classic guys like the Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, guys like that, a bunch of different great comedians that are classics that are now dead. And you see that this stamp collection has been poisoned with Joker poison. So if you lick it, you get that Joker poison, you get that big old Joker grin on your face, and you're dead. And we also see Joker break into the post office because he is upset that he is no longer, well, that he's not on these stamps, because he sees himself as the best comedian of all time. Why is he not on there? So he breaks into the post office, starts shooting the place up, and then Batman and Robin show up. They take down the Joker and his goons. By the way, Robin is currently Tim Drake at this point in time. So they take down Joker. They throw him into jail, and he meets up with his lawyer, and his lawyer's talking about how they're going to do an insanity plea. The police call it the assistant DA. She's the one that's working during that time, and they call her up, and then she shows up, and they think that, oh, it's just going to, be another insanity plea. Joker's just going to get off scot-free for doing all this, and it's going to be an insanity plea. But she tells them that, well, to quote her, she says, "If we go to trial, it will be a travesty. The Perp will intimidate the jury and the witnesses and play us for fools in the media, and when the circus is over, he'll skate on an insanity defense." And then she says, "Hear me out. I'm telling you what will probably happen, but I say let's go for it. No plea deals, no pleas, no deals. We nail him on multiple murder ones and shoot for the death penalty." Which no one ever really does the Joker. It's happened before. I talked about it in the Silver Age. I made a video on this to where Joker actually got the death penalty, and he had a serum to bring him back to life. So that was a loophole because, he got the death penalty, which was a sentence. He got brought back to life, so he technically served his sentence, and he was, a free man, and he was free of everything he had ever done. So he has gotten the death penalty before, but it's a rare thing to see in comics. Generally, Joker's just, oh, he's insane, so they throw him in the asylum. So, but in this, they try to go after him for the death penalty. So we get a lot of scenes in court, which is cool, and we see Joker trying to intimidate people. Also, Graham Nolan draws one of the most terrifying Jokers I've ever seen. There are some certain pages in here and panels where Joker just looks absolutely terrifying, and Graham Nolan does a great job. I really love the way he draws Joker in this book. It's so good. And throughout the book, we get to see a couple more people die due to the stamps. We see that the stamps are still in circulation. Batman and Robin deduce that what happened was someone bought a huge lot of these stamps, poisoned them, and then returned them back for cash. And then they went straight back into circulation because, they're seen as unused stamps. So the post office is like, whatever, we'll use them and, resell them to people. So that's what happened. That's how the stamps got out there. But yeah, we see a bunch of different new victims come in. We see a bunch of different people die, which, poor Gotham. Just don't live in Gotham. It's not a good place. But anyways, when Joker is when he's in the hot seat getting questioned in front of the jury by the assistant DA, she says, "You are aware of the devious and clever nature of these crimes?" And Joker just looks pissed off, talking about how this is amateur hour. He says at the end that this is amateur night in Dixie, simple as that. He is not impressed by these crimes, and he's talking about how it's not him, how simple this is, and he gets very upset and very worked up over this, and even mentions a bunch of the crimes that he has done. And the guy that's representing him is not very happy with this because he's trying to present Joker as this unwell man that's sick and needs help, and then Joker just goes on this tangent about how he crippled Barbara Gordon, he's killed all these different people, he's kidnapped all these different people, done all this crazy stuff. But, since this doesn't pertain to the crime that he's being tried for, the jury's technically not supposed to take that into account. But yeah, it's hard to do that when they just saw Joker admit to all those things. But anyways, back to the Batcave, we see that Batman and Robin ask Oracle for help because, she's good at all this stuff, finding things, because they were able to find part of, a torn-off address when they went through all Joker's stuff and, were doing their detective thing. So they asked Barbara Gordon for help, and she's like, "Oh, sure, I can help. Who's this for?" And they're like, "The Joker," and she shuts down the Bat computer. Because I believe this is 8 years after the Killing Joke, I think, is when this takes place. So not that it's super fresh, but still she's paralyzed and she is still not happy with what happened and everything with the Joker. She's still very scarred by all that. So she shuts down the Bat computer because she doesn't want to help the Joker at all, and she doesn't want Batman Robin to help the Joker. So that was a very interesting part of the story where Batgirl's like, you see her eyes tear up and she shuts down the Bat computer. She's like, nope, Joker's going to get the death penalty, fine by me. But anyways, we see that at the jury that they've come to a conclusion that Joker is actually not innocent. They come to the conclusion that Joker did all this stuff, and they are not happy with him. And we see that he's actually they're trying to get him the death penalty. So because of that, because he's being tried like a normal person, not an insane man, he gets sent to Blackgate. And we see that this is Joker's first time in actual prison, at least in this continuity. Joker talks about how this is his first time actually being in a prison, because before this, he's always been in an asylum. He's always been treated as a sick person, as a crazy guy. But now he's just treated as a prisoner. So he gets thrown in to an actual prison. So I thought that was an interesting aspect as well, seeing Joker kind of be like, wow, this is my first time in an actual prison. But he is still separated from a lot of other people because he's a death row inmate. So also, while all of this is going on, they're still getting letters of from the person that's been poisoning everyone with the stamps. I think it's just someone that Joker's been working with. Someone that's just says, hey, give me $100 million or I'll keep poisoning stamps and killing people. Basically, that's the gist of it. And so the police is trying to deal with that. They're trying to figure out who's doing that. And Batman believes that Joker didn't actually do it. Batman believes what Joker was saying, and he doesn't think this adds up to being Joker. And he talks about how it's all about justice, and everyone around him is not very happy about that. Gordon's kind of like, maybe this is just all his past crimes I didn't pay for catching up to him. Alfred says something similar, and everyone's just kind of like, yeah, Batman, maybe we should just let this go and let Joker die for this, because he is actually going to get the death penalty. We finally got him for something, even though it's something he maybe didn't do. Maybe this is just karma for everything else he's done. But there is a really cool part where Batman asked him about his thoughts on this, since everyone else is like, just stop searching into it and let Joker die. Batman says, you don't want to join the chorus. Everyone asks me why I'm working so hard to clear Gotham's greatest threat. And Tim says, you have your reasons, the same ones that bring you out here every night. And then we see Batman smile. And I just like that. It's a great moment between Bruce and Tim, where Bruce is like, yeah, I chose the right kid to be Robin. I really like that moment. It's a great moment where you just see, like, Batman smile, which, you don't see Batman smile very much. But seeing that happen I like that moment. It's a good moment between Bruce and Tim, where everyone else is doubting Batman, like, just let the Joker die. And Tim's like, nah, I understand. And it's a good moment between them. They're bonding. But when Joker gets transported to Blackgate, when he's going out, he sees that there's just a ton of reporters out there trying to ask him all these questions, and he's in the limelight, and Joker actually loves it. Joker's very happy with being the center of attention, so he tells his lawyer that he wants his execution to be moved up. He wants it to be sooner, because his lawyer's like, man, I could probably hold this off for 10 years. I could hold the death penalty off for like 10 years for you. And Joker's like, no, I want it immediately. He's like, and tell them. He's like, or I'll sue the state for millions if they stay my execution. So, in order to avoid his ridiculous lawsuit, the state ends up moving his they end up expediting his execution way up. So he's going to get executed even sooner than before. He's going to get that death penalty. So Batman is on very much of a hot seat to try to figure this out before the Joker gets killed, because he's moved it up because he wants to stay in the limelight. He really likes being the center of attention. Joker's sort of like the trial of the century, sort of like O.J. Simpson all over again with Joker in terms of popularity. And back to Batman and Robin doing their detective work. We see that Robin's the one that really finds the final clue to figure out who did this. So Robin finds a storage unit that Joker used to own, and he's able to do that and go and find out who actually owned the whole storage area itself, who's the owner of that place. And he finds out that the guy that owns it is the husband of a victim of the stamp crime. And so through that, they're able to go and question that guy and find out that he's the one who did it. So he makes a confession to the police. He says, she never shut up. I could never do anything right. I just wanted her to shut up. I just wanted to shut her up. I always open the bins when an account is 3 months past due. I found a drum of that stuff, the stuff that leaves a smiling corpse. They had to die. I didn't know them. I didn't care. I just had to be free the only way. I dosed the stamps and then returned them all over the city. I knew they'd put them back in circulation. I don't care what you do with me. Do whatever you got to do. So we see that this guy was just very insane in the brain and hated his wife, and so that's why he did this whole thing to get his wife killed. And it wasn't the Joker, it was actually him that poisoned these stamps. So Joker's about to get the death penalty when they get the call that, yeah, don't kill him, he's actually innocent of this, and then he gets thrown in an asylum at the end, because he still did shoot up the post office, but he's not the one that killed all these guys, so he still gets thrown in an asylum. He doesn't get off scot-free. But yeah, I really like this book. Obviously, you know, the title says it all. Joker's Devil's Advocate. Batman is the devil's advocate in this. He's Joker's advocate. He's the one that stands up for justice, even though it would be very easy and maybe the right thing to do to let Joker fall for this. Maybe try to figure out who did this afterwards, so, you know, that way more people don't die from these stamps or anything. But Batman decided, you know, it's not the right thing to do, and it's a very fine line, I guess. It's hard to decide, you know, because now, yes, you save the Joker, but then how many more people are going to die because you didn't actually let Joker get executed? But at the same time, Joker dying that way would technically be wrong and not justice and not be going through the system correctly. But it's I thought it was a very interesting story. I really liked it. I never really heard anyone else talk about it, but it's a really good book. And like I said, Graham Nolan's art also, like the way he draws Joker in some of these panels is just terrifying. Like, he does a great job, and Chuck Dixon obviously kills it writing-wise. I really like the dynamic between Batman and Robin in this book, and Joker just doing his crazy things. Like, we see him beating up a bunch of people in Blackgate. We see him doing so many crazy different things just all over the place. It's a really good book that I highly recommend you guys pick up and read. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know with a like and a comment. If you want to see more of this, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. On my grind all day, gonna make $1 million, son, that someday. You know I'm in the building when I write this way. Put me in the ground when I bite this game,